And scientists are warning of an increased risk of collisions between whales and ships off South Africa's southwestern coast, caused by changing shipping routes due to conflicts in the Middle East. The rerouting of ships around South Africa since 2023, when Houthi rebels hijacked a British-owned vessel near Yemen, has substantially increased the chances of vessels striking the mammals in the region, they say.
Medics had to restrain Palestinian journalist Ali al-Samoudi while tending to his bullet wound when the body of his colleague Shireen Abu Akleh arrived at Ibn Sina Hospital in the occupied West Bank. I managed to look and see Shireen lying next to me. I couldn't believe the situation. I started screaming and I tried to get to her. They didn't let me, said al-Samoudi as he recounted to Al Jazeera the events of May 11, 2022.
And for football fans, the majority of the build-up to the FIFA World Cup has centred on disappointment and shock more than excitement and delight. Faced with wide-ranging issues from expensive match tickets to logistical concerns, fans have directed their criticism towards the sport's global governing body and local organisers in the three host nations, Canada, Mexico and the United States.
The British government has imposed sanctions on an Iranian-linked network accused of plotting attacks in the UK and elsewhere. The Foreign Office has issued travel bans, asset freezes and director disqualification orders to 9 people and 3 entities linked to Iranian-backed hostile activity. At Tok, a shepherd laid down his life while averting a suicide attack on the Manko security post in Atok's Jand area on Monday, potentially saving dozens of lives. District Police Officer Sardar Marwan Khan confirmed, talking to the media. DPO Marwan said the incident occurred near a key security post on the Punjab-Khyber Pakhtunkhwa border, located in Tehsil Jand, some 70 kilometres from Atok city.
And 18 Americans evacuated from a cruise ship after possible exposure to hantavirus are being closely monitored by health officials as authorities maintain the risk to the public remains very, very low. Officials say one passenger aboard the Dutch vessel MV Hondius has tested positive for the Andes virus, a rare type of hantavirus, while another is showing mild symptoms. And Donald Trump says the ceasefire with Iran is on life support after dismissing Tehran's response to a US peace proposal as stupid. The US president's swift rejection of Iran's response on Sunday has fueled concerns that the 10-week-old conflict will drag on and continue to paralyze shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. Referring to the latest proposal, Trump said the ceasefire is the weakest right now after reading that piece of garbage they sent us.
It's about time that the microdrama trend has gone mainstream. As microdrama apps like Reel Short and Drama Box quietly rake in billions, Peacock announced on Monday that it's launching 2 unscripted Bravo microdramas, which will stream on its app. These are vertical video series with episodes around 60 to 90 seconds, are designed for a quick TikTok-like viewing experience. 5-year-old European military drone startup Helsing is reportedly close to raising a new $1.2 billion round at about an $18 billion valuation. The round is expected to be led by Dragoneer and co-led by existing Helsing investor Lightspeed. The Financial Times reported. Helsing last raised just under a year ago in June 2025 in a deal that was led by billionaire Spotify founder Daniel Ek. That was a $600 million investment at an estimated $12 billion valuation, $14 billion USD. So this new round is a step up.
And acting on the directives of Director General LDA Tahir Farouk, the Lahore Development Authority's LDA Town Planning Wing intensified commercial buildings in LDA-controlled areas across the city. During multiple enforcement operations conducted in various localities, LDA teams sealed a total of 203 properties over illegal commercial use and non-payment of commercialization fees. And the government of Azad Jammu and Kashmir, AJK, has decided to expand its mineral sector by reopening the issuant leases under a new policy facilitation framework seen by pro-Pakistani. The move follows a key decision of the AJK cabinet aimed at unlocking the region's mineral potential and promoting export-oriented mining projects. And President Donald Trump on Monday said the ceasefire in the Middle East war was on life support, rejecting Iran's latest counter-offer, which it said had included demands for the release of frozen assets and the end of a US blockade. The president's reaction to Iran's position, itself a response to a US proposal, sent oil prices soaring and dashed hopes that a deal could be quickly negotiated to reopen the Strait of Hormuz to commercial shipping.
That the walls of the medical room are charred black and the door appears to have melted half away in the flames. 10 days after an apparent petrol bomb was hurled through the synagogue window in the middle of the night, the smell of smoke still catches in the back of the throat. When Rabbi Yehuda Black returned the morning after the attack on what he calls his gem of a synagogue, with its wall of stained glass windows and a ceiling carved with stars of David, he said he was overwhelmed with emotion. That Israeli strikes in southern Lebanon have killed at least 4 people and wounded 8 others, according to Lebanese media. The state national news agency, NNA, reported injuries to 2 medics as they rushed to offer aid to victims of the latest attacks by the Israeli military in violation of the official ceasefire. That dig is back from the dead. Again, just months after launching, the reboot of Kevin Rose's once popular link-sharing site shut down in March as the company shifted course. Originally redesigned as a competitor to the massive community forum site Reddit, the new dig found that it wasn't able to effectively manage the bot traffic invading its platform and hadn't differentiated itself enough from the competition to make an impact.
And Naveed Ahmed on Monday sealed an ice cream factory located on Hangu Road over violations of hygiene and food safety regulations during an inspection carried out on the directives of Deputy Commissioner Mohammed Nawaz. And leading an inspection team, the Assistant Commissioner raided the production unit, where officials found the use of substandard ingredients and poor sanitary conditions in the manufacturing area. And the inspection was conducted as part of the district administration's ongoing campaign against unhygienic food production units. And on the special directions of Director General of Federal Government Employees Housing Authority, FGHA Captain Zafar Iqbal, and provisional offer letters, POLs, were formally distributed among the affectees of sectors F14 and F15 under the land sharing basis, and bringing relief and satisfaction to the stakeholders and further strengthening their confidence in the successful progress of the housing project. In this regard, a dignified ceremony was organized in sectors F14 and F15, Islamabad, and which was attended by the Deputy Commissioner of the FGEHA, the Director Land, and other relevant officials. And the Islamabad Electric Supply Company, ESCO, on Monday issued a power suspension program for Tuesday in various areas of its region due to necessary maintenance and routine development work. According to an ESCO spokesperson, and power supply in areas falling under Islamabad Circle would remain suspended from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. from Kanadak, Burma, Wahidabad, Reman Enclave, Kana East, Kana Chukadir Road, Al Noor Colony, Sharifabad, Gori Garden, and Skimai, Garial I-848, Markaz CCC2 and Fazaya feeders.
That the Peshawar High Court, PHC, on Monday sought a detailed response from the government regarding increasing deaths and health risks caused by rat bites in Peshawar and surrounding areas. The case was heard by a 2-member bench comprising Justice Waqar Ahmad and Justice Babar Sattar during proceedings on a public interest petition related to public health concerns.
And enforcement teams of Punjab Food Authority, on the direction of PFA Director General Syed Musa Raza, carried out operations on Raiwind Road, Data Ganj Baksh Town and Paragon City. During the crackdown, a famous Nihari outlet, a fast food restaurant and a confectionery unit were sealed, while fines amounting to $50,000 were imposed on 3 food businesses over violations of food safety laws.
That Islamabad. More than 2 years after the general elections of February 2024, election tribunals across Pakistan have yet to dispose of nearly a third of election petitions. As a result, dozens of lawmakers continue to hold office under a legal cloud, with 128 cases still awaiting adjudication, according to the Free and Fair Election Network, FAFN. By the end of April 2026, that election tribunals had decided 246, or 66%, of the 374 petitions filed against GE 2024 outcomes in 113 National Assembly and 236 Provincial Assembly constituencies. Of these, that 73 out of 124 petitions pertaining to National Assembly constituencies and 173 out of 250 petitions about provincial assemblies have been disposed of.
And Islamabad. Senators on Monday decried the latest hike in petroleum prices and costly energy, accusing the government of economic oppression and calling for an exit from the International Monetary Fund, IMF, program. PTI's parliamentary leader in the Senate, Barrister Syed Ali Zafar, termed the fresh hike in petroleum prices a petrol bomb and economic oppression against the public, regretting the Rs 117.5 per litre levy.
That Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer has pledged to prove his doubters wrong as he fights for his political future in the wake of last week's disastrous local election results and growing speculation that a leadership contest may not be far off. In a make-or-break speech on Monday, the leader of the ruling Labour Party said that he remains the man to deliver change and will take responsibility for fulfilling his party's electoral promises.
And Redwood Materials has finally found a new chief financial officer roughly a year and a half after its last one departed. He's a familiar face to the former Tesla executives running the battery recycling and energy storage company. On Monday, and Redwood Materials said it has hired former Tesla finance chief Deepak Ahuja as its new CFO. Ahuja joins an executive team that includes Tesla's former CTO, J.B. Straubel, and Redwood's founder and CEO, and former Tesla powertrain vice president Colin Campbell, Redwood's CTO, among a number of other Tesla expats throughout the ranks. Most recently, Ahuja was chief finance and business officer at drone company Zipline.
That Federal Minister for Information and Broadcasting Atola Tarar on Monday expressed gratitude to journalists for ending their walkout from the proceedings of the Parliament. Speaking on the floor of the National Assembly, he said that advertisements of a television channel which had terminated 170 employees had been immediately suspended.
And the upcoming Oppo Find X10 Pro Max has appeared in a new leak revealing details about its cameras, display and chipset. According to Tipster Digital Chat Station, the Find X10 series is expected to launch in China in October and may include the Find X10, Find X10 Pro and Find X10 Pro Max.